Are reporting that Giannis Antetokounmpo is expected to be traded before tomorrow's NBA draft. The Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat are the finalists. Boston's offer centers around all-star Jalen Brown, while Miami is pushing young players and draft capital. Brian Windhorst joining us now. Brian, so Giannis is expected to no longer be on the Bucks in the next 24 hours. What's the latest you're hearing?
Yeah, there's two things I think that we need to take from the developments in the last day or so. Number one, the Bucks are going to trade him. They've been on the fence with this on and off for months now, as we have documented well. He's going to get traded by tomorrow night. The second thing is the Boston Celtics have made a very aggressive offer here that includes Jalen Brown, which means that the Celtics have decided that their team is not good enough and they probably need to break up the Jason Tatum-Jalen Brown duo. Even if the Miami Heat's offer is the one that's accepted by the Boston Celtics, by the Bucks, I would not be surprised if Jalen Brown is eventually traded somewhere else, because the Celtics have come to the determination that they're not good enough to beat the Knicks and maybe not good enough to beat other Eastern Conference powers like the Pistons, maybe even the Indiana Pacers next year. And so this is a significant development on multiple different fronts, but we could have an idea by tomorrow night of where Giannis is. And when that happens, Jay, the balance of power in one way or another in the NBA will change.
Going to keep on developing, but maybe a resolution soon. According to Shams, Giannis Antetokounmpo expected to be traded before the draft gets underway at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. According to Shams, the Celtics and the Heat have emerged as the two finalists to land the Bucks superstar, with Boston putting Jalen Brown on the table for a potential swap of MVPs. Shams, there are any number of teams that could use this guy, and even those teams out west that are battling against Wemby. You know, he's the future. Why aren't more teams involved?
A lot of it has to do with Giannis Antetokounmpo's contract. He's got 1 year guaranteed left on his deal. And in this second April collective bargaining agreement that we have now, if you're going to trade for a player at that salary number, you need to have his commitment long-term, because of the contracts that you have going out. They're going to be good players, and the necessary draft capital that's going to be going out to execute a deal like this, and also just a level of investment if you're accounting for all this money going toward Giannis moving forward. But I think, listen, with or without the commitment level, the fact that he is willing to commit, my understanding is, to both Boston and Miami. They have been aggressive during this cycle of negotiations between the draft combine and now. The Heat made multiple offers for Giannis at the deadline. The Celtics called, registered interest. There was an understanding of what it would take and what the Celtics would do. They couldn't find any middle ground. Obviously, the Bucks didn't trade Giannis at the deadline, but now is a different story. Clearly, Jimmy Haslam, their owner, has come out that they want a resolution before the NBA draft on whether he's going to be there long term or not. Sources have told me consistently Giannis will not be in Milwaukee long term. He will not be signing a contract extension. So now you look at the offers, and both Milwaukee, Boston, Miami have had high stakes negotiations, and as of right now, they have two very strong proposals on the table that they're sitting.
It sounds like the Celtics have really upped their game in this regard.
No doubt. I mean, of course, it takes Jalen Brown to get a deal done, just from a salary perspective, but my understanding there's other pieces to this as well that could make a deal enticing.
All right, so what makes the most sense? Bobby always gives us like the down low on like the finances, the fit, and everything.
You know what's interesting in this? When you look at it, Miami and Boston, Miami makes the most sense just based on where they are. They've been in the play-in, they can't get out, they lose in the play-in this year. To get a player like Giannis in their building. However, the cost to get him, and as far as what you have to give up with your roster, if it's Tyler Hero and your young players and your draft picks and maybe some more players, what is left? What is he walking into? He's walking into Bam Adebayo, Andrew Wiggins, and hopefully you can re-sign Norman Powell, and then you've got to put the pieces around it. Where in Boston, let's say there is no trade, you still have Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. There's still more of a structure of a roster here. So yes, Miami needs him more, but there's probably more of a cost to go out and trade.
Although it does sound like Jalen Brown could possibly be on the move. Let's get back to that in a second. Even if this doesn't work out, like paint a Miami picture for me with Giannis and Bam, and given what we know, what the competition is in the East.
Well, flat out though, it's always special if you can get a player like Giannis to come to your franchise. I don't like the fit much at all, especially because they have to group together too much shooting. Whenever you talk about a player like Giannis, you talk talk about a player like Wiggins, you talk about a player like Bam, you're packing it in. You don't want to pack it in more now that you're getting or receiving a guy, especially if you're going to pay that amount out to get him. When you start looking at how Miami plays, their culture, yes, it's going to be fast flow. They're going to get the ball out. They're going to defend hard. They're going to play both sides of the ball extremely aggressive. But for Giannis to make sense and to get the most out of a Giannis situation, I just think you need outside shooting. And when I look at the Celtics, I smile. When I look over there in Miami, especially what they have to give up for it, it's just like I wouldn't throw him into that. But if I was Milwaukee, I would throw him into that because they both in the East.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind. Like, y'all figure it out.
No state tax. There's always that. What's the Jalen Brown of it all, do you think, when all is said and done?
Listen, I have not got the sense that Boston is just shopping him around the league for at an auction. Now, this is twice in 4 years, though, that the Celtics have put Jalen Brown on the table. Back in 2022, they offered him for Kevin Durant. Now they're offering him for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And so there's always the human element. He's got multiple years left on his deal, though. So the Celtics, if this trade happens, they don't have to worry about anything. They just bring Giannis into the fold. They have Jason Tatum there already. If this deal doesn't happen, they still have him under contract for multiple years.
Yeah, but then you're still the guy that's been shopped around.
The human element, of course, plays into it. We don't know how those conversations yet, how they're going to play out, because, again, there's no decision yet from Milwaukee. The other touch point of this is he's extension eligible. 2 years. Bobby knows the numbers. A little over 140.
What is it, Bobby?
Right? A little over 140.
So
he's already got 3 left, 3 for 180. So now you're at another 140.
So if the Celtics are like, hey, we're going to give you the money, stay here, we love you. I mean, that's a lot of money. But could they also go the way of let's see what else is on the market? Is there a slew of young players and picks we can go get? Is there 3-4 other players that are high-level starters that we can get and plug and play? So we don't know yet the Celtics' direction because we don't know the outcome of this first domino yet.
I mean, I guess we love you. Money talks, right? In that sense. But still, from a player's perspective, you've been shopped around a couple times real quick.
Well, first off, once you've finally gotten traded, like, it gets out of your system. There's always the jitters if it's happening during the season. I think it's better for Jalen Brown to get traded in the summer, be able to shift your focus, understand what you're coming into. I think that the mental approach for him, though, wouldn't be on the side of the coin that is saying, man, they just shot me around in my stable. It's like, y'all want me to prove it to y'all again? Because I just proved it to y'all. Like, we just led the East. Like, I proved it to y'all one time. Like, I can do this again. So I think him taking on that challenge, at least when I watch his clips, I don't get all too into anything, but I have read in between the lines that he's willing to accept whatever challenge you throw at him, and he won't fail. And I like the attitude. It's just, we got to see where he ends up.
A couple of finals MVPs. Speaking of the finals, this man won one 10 years ago, and he and his buddies from the Cavaliers had